Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through the latest news, reports, all that stuff, and basically give you the key takeaways. Today, we're jumping into the trucking industry. It really is the backbone of the economy, no exaggeration there. But it's always changing, always facing, unique pressures,
hmm
policy shifts, road realities. It's a lot. So, our mission here is to break down some really recent, really important developments. We're talking policy, economic trends, safety stuff, innovation. And we'll look at it all from the angle of how it affects your life out there on the road. Because, well, that's what matters most, right?
Exactly. And for this deep dive, we're pulling from recent industry analysis, news reports, getting different angles, like Hervey over at Life, as a trucker always says. You got to see things from all sides to really get it. So we've pulled out the crucial bits to help you navigate all these changes, whether you're driving or, running a small fleet.
All right, let's hit the road running then. Something you probably deal with every day axle weight. It seems basic, but it can still trip you up. What's the latest that drivers really, really need to know right now?
You're right. It's always relevant. The California Highway Patrol, the CHP, they just put out a big reminder. They are cracking down hard on grouped axle weight. And it's not just a warning. It's leading to tickets. We're seeing citations for things like improper spacing between the axles,
Okay.
overloading tandems or triples past their group limit, and just straight-up violations of California's bridge law, which is stricter.
And the consequences aren't small, I take it.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
You could get an out-of-service order, fines. I saw one example, like 4,000 pounds over on a rear tandem. That's a hefty fine. Plus, you get those CSA dings on your record.
Ugh.
Yeah, and just the lost time, lost money, having to rework the load. It's a mess.
It really is a huge headache. So, what can you actually do to avoid that? What are the concrete tips from the sources?
Okay, yeah, the sources are pretty practical here. First, know your axle limits. By
Yeah.
group and by state, they really vary, California especially.
Right.
Second, use the CIT scales every time. Don't guess. Don't eyeball the fifth wheel. Just scale it.
Makes sense.
And purposefully slide those tandems. Make sure you relock them properly. Sounds basic, I know, but crucial for weight distribution. Carry an axle weight chart, a printout, an app, whatever works.
Gotcha.
And plan for weigh stations. Don't try to dodge them, especially in Cali. They'll find you, as one source put it. And remember this quote: 1 foot difference can be the difference between legal and sorry.
Wow, that really says it all. Precision matters.
It really does.
Okay, so beyond the regs, the road itself. Threw some curveballs this week, some tough reminders. What are those headlines from the truck stops hitting home right now?
Yeah, it started rough. There was a tragic multi-semi crash, multiple fatalities. It's just such a stark reminder. Every mile, every shift, the danger is real.
Absolutely.
The sources really hammered this. Slow down, stay sharp, avoid driving tired. One bad second.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it connects directly to the risks you face daily.
Sobering stuff. What else?
Then there was a DEA meth bust in a semi, which is, frankly, another black eye for the industry. Yeah, they found a significant quantity hidden away. Driver arrested, facing serious federal charges. The pro tip here is crystal clear.
Yeah.
Check your trailer, always, even if it's sealed.
Even sealed. Wow.
Yep. And don't haul sketchy stuff for quick cash. As the source said, there's no easy in federal prison. Harsh, but true.
Yeah. Definitely a warning worth heeding.
And one more tough one. A driver sentenced to prison for criminal negligence. This case involved ignoring safety warnings, driving with suspended credentials, overweight load, improperly secured, led to a fatal crash.
This is awful.
It is. And the source made a powerful point about accountability. Sometimes it's us not holding ourselves or our peers accountable. These aren't just stories. They're cautionary tales about the responsibility involved.
Moving away from the really heavy stuff, what about those recurring annoyances, high-speed rail popping up again?
Oh, yeah, that one. It feels like it comes up every year, doesn't it?
It really does.
Truckers mostly just chuckle at it, I think. When that Amazon load absolutely has to be in Cleveland by 6 a.m.,
Yeah.
it's going on a truck.
Right.
Rail just doesn't have that same flexibility or speed for most OTR freight.
And speaking of things that keep coming back, Pennsylvania tolls.
Yep, those two. Hikes for Class 5 and up. Again,
Drivers must love that.
oh, absolutely fed up. It's another hit to the bottom line, and it's not always clear what the benefit is.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so we've covered the immediate stuff, the daily grind. Let's zoom out a bit. What about the bigger picture? Policy shifts? Anything coming down the pipeline that might actually help drivers? Or maybe create new huddles? I heard something about surprisingly good news from the USDOT. Is that right? Given past history, what's different this time?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Mm.
But yeah, the U.S. Department of Transportation, they've rolled out this new playbook.
Mm.
And it actually seems designed to help truckers not just regulate them more,
Mm.
which is, well, pretty new. It tackles some really old problems,
Mm.
like parking.
The parking nightmare.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. It's been a huge issue for decades. So USDOT is committing over $80 million, specifically for new, safe parking spots.
80 million, that's significant.
It is. They're talking about working with states to repurpose rest areas, old way stations, even grants for private truck stops to add capacity. This could really help with the safety issue of drivers parking on ramps because they're out of hours.
That would be huge. What else is in this playbook?
Well, they're also looking at regulatory relief.
Yeah.
Things like streamlining the medical certification renewal,
Okay.
cutting down CDL issuance wait times in some states,
Yeah.
and pushing the FMCSA to look at regulations that are maybe outdated or just too complex. The goal they stated is fewer hoops to jump through.
Fewer hoops sounds good.
Right. And finally, flexibility. They're exploring more options for split sleeper berth,
Okay.
more flexibility for short-haul drivers so they don't get caught by long-haul rules unfairly, and better use of personal conveyance. It's all aimed at helping drivers avoid burnout, letting them sleep like actual humans instead of timing robots, as one source put it.
I like that framing. So what's the catch? Or the biggest hurdle?
I think the hurdle is always implementation speed, bureaucracy, state-level stuff.
Yeah.
It takes time. But the federal commitment seems, well, stronger this time.
And driver reactions. Hopeful but skeptical.
Pretty much sums it up. You hear things like, I'll believe it when I see that new parking lot open.
Yeah, understandable after years of promises.
Totally. But it is movement in the right direction.
Okay, let's shift gears to something definitely happening. Money. Congress passed some tax changes, described as filet mignon tax cuts. For an owner-operator or a small fleet, what's the real impact here, beyond just, saving a few bucks?
Right. This is where it gets really interesting. Uncle Sam basically just gave truckers a tax boost with this one big, beautiful bill.
Mm-hmm.
Two major things. First, the Qualified Business Income Deduction, QBI. It's now permanent.
Permanent QBI. Okay.
Yeah, so owner-operators, small fleets, you can deduct up to 20% of your qualified business income. That's potentially thousands back in your pocket every year. Money you can actually use.
Thousands is definitely more than a few bucks. What's the second thing?
This is the real game changer, I think. 100% bonus depreciation. It's back, and it's permanent, too.
100%. Explain that.
It means if you buy, say, a $150,000 truck, you can deduct the entire cost in the year you buy it.
The whole thing.
In 1 year. A whole thing.
Yeah.
Applies to trailers, sleepers, other qualifying gear too. For an owner-operator, think about that cash flow impact. It's not just a tax break. It's like a massive capital injection up front.
Yeah.
Helps you upgrade, stay competitive, smarter investing with faster returns, as the source called it.
Wow. Okay, so how's the industry taking this? Mixed reactions.
You guessed it. Small fleet owners. Thrilled, obviously.
Naturally.
Tax pros are giving the sensible advice. Don't just blow their refund on chrome and stakes. Use it wisely.
Good advice.
And some old school drivers are kind of like, yeah, whatever, I'll see it when I see it in my account.
Fair enough. But the smart play.
The sources say reinvest. Back up income streams, upgrade your tools, build that rainy day fund. It's about building long-term financial strength, not just a one-time windfall. Resilience.
Building resilience. I like that. Okay, now for a topic that's, well, it's potentially huge and definitely complex. Immigration. Specifically, crackdowns and how they might impact the trucking workforce. This isn't just politics, is it? It could really shake things up.
No, it's deeply connected to the supply chain, to keeping things moving. And the numbers are pretty stark. Over 20% of U.S. truck drivers are foreign-born. That's a big chunk of the workforce.
20%? Wow.
Yeah. So if there are major federal crackdowns, tighter work permit rules, faster deportations, some experts are warning we could lose between 105,000 and 175,000 drivers.
Wait, the current shortage is around 80,000?
Exactly. So we could be talking about more than doubling the current driver shortage almost overnight.
Okay, that would be chaotic. What would the fallout look like?
Well, an exploding driver shortage means capacity just vanishes. Rates would likely spike, which hits everyone. Shippers, consumers, freight gets delayed. Relationships with brokers, customers get strained. And for owner-operators, yeah, rates might go up short-term, but it could also mean more volatility, maybe even tighter regulations down the line. It affects the whole system.
It really underscores how interconnected everything is. How are drivers themselves talking about this? I imagine there are different views.
Oh, definitely. The sources capture that really well, showing multiple perspectives. Like Hervey advises, you hear things like, look, I don't care where you're from. If you drive legal, run safe, deliver on time, you're one of us. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And then another angle, politics isn't paying my bills. If we lose those drivers, we all face a harder road. Just practical economics.
So even drivers who might lean conservative are worried about the workforce impact.
Exactly. Even some who generally favor tougher policies are saying, hang on, we need these drivers to keep the wheels turning. It shows the issue goes beyond simple political lines. It's a fundamental business reality for the industry.
That's fascinating. So for you listening right now, dealing with all this uncertainty, what can you actually do to prepare? Do the sources offer any advice?
They do. It's about being aware and adaptable. Watch the policy shifts as they happen, especially going into 2025. Talk to your drivers if you have them. Understand their situation, visa status, green cards. Offer support if you can.
Okay.
Double-check your own compliance. Make sure your paperwork is bulletproof to avoid any extra headaches.
Good point.
And just be flexible. If the market tightens up, be ready. Ready to grab better lanes, higher paying loads, look for new partners. It's about preparing for whatever comes.
Being proactive, not reactive. Okay, let's tie some of this together with innovation. How can technology and new approaches make your life safer, maybe more sustainable? We hear about the 2025 truck fleet innovators. What are they doing differently? And crucially, what can an owner-operator learn from them without needing a huge budget?
That's the key question, right? Innovation isn't just for the mega carriers. These innovators, the ones heavy-duty trucking highlighted, they're smart. They blend safety tech with what they call driver-first thinking. That's crucial.
Driver first, I like that.
Yeah. So on the tech side, they use AI-based safety systems, forward collision warning, lane departure, stuff shown to reduce wrecks by double digits. They also use AI coaching tools, in-cab alerts, but designed to feel like a buddy giving you a heads up, not some annoying robot.
That makes it different.
Huge difference. Their whole philosophy is, if the tech doesn't make the driver's life easier, we don't install it. Simple as that.
That's a great filter. What about beyond the tech? Culture.
Absolutely. They build a real safety culture. Actual safety bonuses tied to performance, not just posters on the wall. They make maintenance turnaround a priority, so you're not driving sketchy equipment.
Important.
And they use ELD data smartly, not just for compliance, but to spot fatigue patterns, prevent overwork before it causes problems. And the result? Lower accident rates, much better driver retention. Because guess what? Treat drivers well, and they tend to stick around.
Imagine that.
They're also testing electric, hybrid trucks where it makes sense, watching autonomous tech, but definitely not buying into hype. Strategic, not just trendy.
Okay, so for the owner-operator or the small fleet owner listening, how do you translate that? What are the affordable takeaways?
It really comes down to being intentional. Like you said earlier, you don't need a giant budget. Look into dash cams. Many now have driver assist features built in, and they're way more affordable than they used to be.
Okay, that's actionable.
Use simple scheduling tools. Even just a well-managed spreadsheet can help you optimize rest, cut fatigue, plan your downtime, and create your own safety bonus. Seriously. Reward yourself for a clean month, hitting a safety goal. Make it tangible.
I love that idea. Be intentional about your own safety and efficiency.
Exactly. Any size operation can do that, and it directly benefits you. And, this ties right back into that core message from Hervey in Life as a trucker. Empowering drivers, helping you get out on your terms.
Yeah.
They really see the struggle, the pain points right now. And their solution is focused. Training truckers to use AI, but to create extra income streams.
Extra income. Oh.
Yeah, not just relying solely on freight rates. Think of it as a shield from the ups and downs, the economic bumps, so you can actually retire when you want to, not when you're forced to. Or protect yourself if your main gig disappears.
That's powerful. Managing your time not just for the shipper, but for yourself. Using that off-duty time to learn, to build something else. You don't have all your eggs in one reefer trailer, as the source put it.
Exactly. It's about being proactive, having options, feeling respected because you have control over your future, not just reacting to whatever the industry throws at you.
That feeling of control is huge. So wrapping this deep dive up, trucking is tough. It's messy, constantly changing, a real roller coaster, like one source said. But the other side of that coin is real truckers adjust, adapt, and survive. Always have, always will. There's incredible resilience there.
Absolutely. Whether it's figuring out axle weights, using tax breaks smartly, understanding these big workforce shifts, or adopting small innovations, the theme that keeps coming up is being informed, being proactive. Not just driving the miles, but strategically managing your career, your business, building that resilience you mentioned.
When we saw resources like lifeasaytrucker.com, retirefromtrucking.com mentioned, it seems like they're more than just websites, right? It's a philosophy.
It really is. It's about giving you the tools, the knowledge to take control. Build that recurring income, protect yourself from shocks, get out on your terms.
Your commitment, listening out there, keeps everything moving. It's immense.
It truly is. And hopefully the insights we've unpacked today give you some strategic fuel for the road ahead. Help you drive smarter, not just harder.
So we'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. What's one small thing, just one thing you can do this month to innovate your own operation? Maybe change a routine, learn a new tool, something to make sure you can truly retire when you decide it's time.